Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the StudentLoanJustice.org live stream. My name is Alan Collins, the founder of Student Loan Justice. If you're new to the group, welcome. We're glad that you're here. If you have any questions or comments as we go along, please throw them out. So right now, folks, the most important thing is right here. So we started a petition on change.org. And here, let me grab that here. We started a petition on change.org. There it is. Change.org, cancel student loans. This is extraordinarily important, folks. In the 15 years that we've been around, this is by far the most important thing we've done. So remember it. Change.org, cancel student loans. Commit that to memory. Paste that link everywhere you possibly can. So let me give you the broad view, folks. This is a failed student loan system. It's not your fault. It's a bad lending system. That happens from time to time. Subprime home mortgage crisis, savings and loan scandal loans from decades in the past. Every once in a while, a lending system in this country will just completely blow up. And that is what has happened to student loans. I wish it didn't happen. I wish Congress would have done the right thing in the first 15 years of our existence. And so we've been doing research very hard on this for, as I said, 15 years. We've broken all of the most significant stories in the media on this. When student loans surpass credit card debt, we broke that story. The fact that the government, believe it or not, is making a profit on defaulted loans. We broke that story. All manner of corruptions and just disgustingly obscene lending behaviors that at one point landed us top story on 60 Minutes. We've broken all that stuff, guys, and yet nothing has changed. In 15 years, Congress had every chance to fix this lending system. And they grossly neglected us, Congress and the president. So now, here we are in a coronavirus. Right before the coronavirus happened, by the way, 80% of all student loan borrowers were never going to be able to repay their loans. Only 0.8%, so 0.8% of the people who deserve to get their loans canceled for working in public service for 10 years, only 0.8% actually got their loans canceled. In other words, 99.2% were disqualified for one reason or another. This is a viciously predatory lending system. It's not your fault. The founding fathers felt so strongly that the citizens had to have bankruptcy rights. They called for uniform bankruptcy laws in the Constitution, not the Bill of Rights, the Constitution itself. And they called for it ahead of the power to declare war, ahead of the power to raise an army, ahead of the power to create a navy, create a judiciary, ahead of the power to form a post office, I believe. Now that we have the elections coming up, I figured I'd throw that in. So this lending system I'm sorry, folks, but it's a scam. Now, you may love the government, may hate the government. I have great trust that the Department of Agriculture is doing a great job. Department of Defense is keeping us safe. Department of Veterans Affairs is helping the veterans. The federal government is a great thing. People work for government, good people, all that. But the Department of Education is a captured, nationally threatening agency. And it sits at the top of this hornet's nest. This is an unconstitutional lending system. Folks, I am here to tell you. So, you are not alone. I know most of the people in our group are freaking out about their student loans. And you shouldn't be freaking out, number one. You should be pissed. You should be helping us fight. As I said, we've been doing this for a long time. We were fighting very moderately for the return of bankruptcy protections for 15 years. 15 years we were doing this. arguing for the very moderately for the return of bankruptcy protections. Well, that time has now passed, I think, because there's no going back. This lending system is over the cliff. These loans have got to be canceled, period. Now, the people out there making great money, able to pay their loans, well, they get a freebie. That's just a fact. We just got done throwing, depending on who you listen to, between $5 and $9 trillion out to the banks, to the investment companies. Yeah, we got a stimulus check for $1,200. Yeah, a few small businesses got some PPP loans. But folks, these loans have got to be canceled. That's just a fact. It's just got to happen. Now, all of the loan cancellation plans that we're hearing about from Joe Biden during the Democratic primaries, from Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, and we supported Sanders and Warren, by the way, because of their stance on bankruptcy, but I have to say that all of their cancellation programs will never work, including Joe Biden's. Is doomed to fail. Congress will never pass a law that raises $1 or $2 trillion in new taxes so that they can pay for loan cancellation. That's just ridiculous. It won't happen. And even if they did, the Department of Education would see to it that, just like in the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program, almost nobody would actually get their loans canceled. They would be disqualified for one reason or another. That is how the Department of Education rolls. They are a predatory, nationally threatening agency. They need to be shut down. Certainly, the Office of Federal Student Aid needs to be shut down completely. And quite frankly, the decision makers there over the past decade or more need to be investigated very seriously and prosecuted to the full extent of the law where appropriate. I'm not kidding, folks. We've been doing this for a long time. We've been featured top story on 60 Minutes. We've written books. We've written more articles than I can even count. We've been on almost every TV show you can think of, news show. We are an authority on this topic. We don't know anything about anything else, but we know about student loans. And this lending system is toast. It's done. The loans have got to go. Take the lending system out to the bathroom and drown it in the tub. Now, all this nonsense we're hearing about from President Biden and others about loan cancellation, dudes, it's a ruse. It's kind of a hoax. It's disingenuous. The only way to actually cancel student loans, federal student loans anyhow, is by executive order. That's the only way that makes sense. The president, whether Donald Trump or Joe Biden, whoever, this president or the next, the president can cancel these loans by executive order, folks. He can do it without needing to raise one dime of tax, without needing to pass one bill, without having to sign one law, with, in fact, no money changing hands at all, and without adding one penny to the national debt. You know, the taxpayers paid for these loans many years ago. They don't have to pay twice. By executive order. The Higher Education Act of 1965, as amended, gives the president all the executive authority that he needs to cancel these loans with the stroke of his pen. And when I say all these loans, I mean all federally owned student loans. So that's 85% of all student loans. Now, the president can also issue an executive order calling on the Department of Education, ordering the Department of Education to stop and its contractors to stop opposing student loan borrowers in bankruptcy court. And that will become important because even after the president cancels all federally owned loans, there will still be that 15% of private student loans, the older style FFLP loans hanging out. And so we absolutely have to get bankruptcy protections returned to those. But guys, I'm telling you, I have never been more supremely confident that this is a failed lending system. And if you ever pay another dollar back on your federal student loans, certainly, not only is that unwise, I would say it's unpatriotic. Do not feed this beast. You know, I know a lot of people out there would feel maybe slightly bad about having their loans canceled because People would wag their finger at them and say, "Oh, you're a suck on the economy," etc. Well, you need to get over that. By feeding this beast, by paying any money back on these student loans, you only ensure that even a worse, vicious, higher priced debt is going to be slapped onto future generations. Don't do that. If you feel bad about having your loans canceled, you take that money that you would have repaid on your student loans and you do something truly good and altruistic with it. Pay for a kid to go to college with no loans, or I don't know. You can figure that out. But don't feel bad. That's exactly what the bad people, the swamp people who have created this cheesy rat trap, want you to feel. They have been playing upon our good faith for decades now, and they are of bad faith. The worst thing in the world that you can do is reward their bad faith, nationally threatening, viciously predatory behavior. These loans have got to be canceled, whether by executive order or by popular consent. Nobody is making payments on their student loans right now, by and large, certainly not on their federal student loans. And if you think that many or maybe even any people are going to happily resume paying when this current payment suspension is lifted, no, it's not going to happen. But folks, I'm telling you, this could have a good ending and it could have a bad ending. The swamp is strong. The predators on the other side of this issue, our opposition, they are strong. They have a lot of money. They're very well resourced. They have an army of very smart, ambitious, enthusiastic people working for them. And they've got some power. And if we don't fight, then this could get very ugly. This could be a very dystopian outcome where families are wrecked in the tens of people and families are wrecked in the tens of millions. They could see their properties lien, their real property taken, mothers, fathers, grandma, grandpa who co-signed on or who took out Parent Plus loans. Believe it or not, the police, the federal marshals, have actually begun rolling up on people's homes with no-knock warrants on account of their defaulted student loans. This started to happen 5 years ago. The last I checked, this little podunk federal district in Texas, believe it or not, had plans to arrest like 1,500 student loan borrowers. Technically, it was for failure to appear, but it's a kangaroo court. It's a sham, where they send the summons to the wrong address, and then when it comes time to arrest the people, all of a sudden they find the right address. So up to this point, it's been pretty rare, I admit, but it is happening, and it could happen in far greater numbers. We need to shut this down and make sure that doesn't happen, folks. We have to flex our muscle. There are 55 million people in the country who have student loans or are co-signed on them. 55 million. They should all be on our side. But here's the most important thing I'll say tonight, maybe. Of those 55 million, 80% will never be able to repay their loans. That's 44 million people who are freaking out about their student loans. Now, why we only have, 15,000, 16,000 people on our Facebook group and only 600,000 signatures on our petition, I do not know. It's kind of like the Twilight Zone. Obviously, we are the pioneers on this. And by the way, folks, if there was any other groups fighting for what we are fighting for, which is the only way to actually cancel loans, I would join that group. But there's not. There is just us. There is you, and there is me. And you have no idea how important you are. We are the pioneers. We are the tip of the spear. In fact, we are the only spear. So I don't want to put any undue pressure on you, but, the country really needs you on this. You've gotten this far. You found us. Hopefully you found our petition. Maybe that's why you're here, because you found the petition. I don't know. But we've got to punch a little above our weight. Everybody here in this group and on our petition. We've got to go a little above and beyond to make sure that every student loan borrower in the country knows that we exist. Right now, I think maybe not even 2% of all student loan borrowers even know that we exist. That has got to change, folks. You know, we are not in this for the money. We're not in this for the fame or the glory. We are in this to solve this problem. And we are the only game in town. We are it, guys. We are it. You and me, this group, our 50 state chapter groups, our 50 state chapter leaders, and whatever we can do according to our own unique talent, skills, networks, whatever. It's up to us. We are left to our own devices to figure this out. And so I am here to tell you tonight the one thing we are asking everybody to do, and we ask people to do stuff every day. I hope that you will get into that habit. We're asking people to just click on that link there where it says tweet. Just click on that link, that tweet link, and just retweet the petition. You know, we're putting this out here on the group. We're putting it out by email, and we're putting it out to the 560-something thousand signatures we have on our petition. We've got a fairly nice muscle to flex now, folks, if everybody, including you, pitches in and makes the effort. So do that. Click on that Twitter link. It'll take you literally like 7 seconds. You click on the one link, the thing comes up, and then you click on that link, and then you're done. 7 seconds, no more. So is that not worth your time and effort? Come on, folks. As I said, this could have a bad outcome, or it could have a good outcome. The good outcome, in fact, the best outcome, is that we can make this thing happen by November 3rd. You know, this is now a presidential election issue. It was not 4 years ago. This time it is, because Joe Biden is at least mouthing the words loan cancellation, and at least on paper, he has included the return of bankruptcy protections into his agenda. Now, we need more from Biden. He's weak. He's a weak candidate. I don't trust anything that he's said so far. In order for us to endorse Biden, we need to hear from him at a minimum that he will, by executive order, return bankruptcy protections to student loans. Till that happens, we won't endorse him. But the fact of the matter is, most people aren't nearly as smart as we are on the student loan issue. And just him mouthing the words bankruptcy and loan cancellation, that is going to make sure that the majority of those 44 million people who are freaking out about their student loans, 40% of whom are independent, by the way, will be strongly inclined to vote for him. So we need to put this issue in play, folks. You know, Donald Trump right now has nothing. He's got goose eggs. And quite frankly, he has given the key to the castle to the swamp creatures over the past 4 years as president. So Donald Trump's got nothing. And like him or hate him, we only like them as far as we can bowl them, as far as they fight for us for the student loan issue. But if you want Donald Trump to win, then I strongly suggest that you go to whitehouse.gov/contact and you tell him that he needs to actually cancel all federal student loans. He needs to drain this swamp before the election. You know, this is an electoral bonanza, the likes of which we have never before seen in modern politics, dating back to, I don't know, certainly my lifetime, going back probably even to the 60s or 50s, 70s. 44 million people is nearly enough to elect a president outright, folks. You have no idea how much power we have. So come on, guys. Between now and November 3rd, really for the next 5 to 6 weeks, because people start voting in about 6 weeks, this is the time that if you were ever going to help us fight to get these loans, your loans, canceled, now would be the time. We've never been in a better position. We are in a extremely fortunate position right now. We're in the best position we've ever been in the history of this organization by far. But it all starts with you. Are you going to help? Or are you going to sit there and wait and watch and worry and do nothing and just kind of expect that somebody else is going to pull your weight for you? If that's how you roll, you're going to be waiting a long time. And by the way, get the fuck off our group. We're tired of you. We don't want you riding our backs, riding our gravy train. You know, on any given day, there are hundreds of people that are doing the hard work necessary to get this problem solved. If you're not helping, then just hit the bricks, man. We're done. We're done with you. We don't need you. You're a waste of space. If you do want to get these loans canceled by the election, then get off your ass and help. It's not hard. It doesn't take a lot of effort. But waiting and watching and worrying ain't going to get that done. So you need to make a very serious decision. Are you going to sit there and do nothing so that we can be here 5 years from now? And you can sit there and go, God, wow, I should have really gotten off my fucking ass 5 years ago for 5 fucking minutes. But I didn't. And now we're fucked. Wow. Yeah. Do you want to be that guy? Don't be that guy. Get off your ass and help right now. Spread this petition everywhere you can. If we can get up to 1 million signatures, and we can, and I'm confident that we will when you help, then that puts us right in play with the national media. We can get this done by November 3rd, but you've got to help. You know, the bad guys, they want you to sit there and wait and watch and worry and do nothing. They want you to do absolutely nothing. Don't give them the pleasure. Don't be a fucking idiot. As I said, on any given day, there are hundreds of people doing the not hard, but not particularly fun or glamorous work necessary to get these loans gone. They're pasting the link to the petition everywhere they can. They're tweeting about it. They're calling news organizations and lining up media coverage for us so that we can get the word out about this. These are all things that you could and should be doing. Is it not worth 5 minutes a day of your time? Are you that fucking awesome that you can't even spare 5 minutes a day? Are you that much better than us? No, you're not. So strap it on and do what it takes. Because I don't want to be here 5 years from now wondering why the whole nation is now conquered and enslaved. You know, student loans are just the camel's nose under the tent. If they can do what they did to us with student loans, they can repeat that process with any loans, federally guaranteed or not. You know, I'm already hearing murmurs that people would love to put a similar restriction on bankruptcy protections for medical debt. You know, the founding fathers are looking down on us, by the way. And I think for 90% of the people in this group, they're going, how did these people get so weak? Why are they so afraid of their government? Yeah, you need to get over that. So, all right, folks, well, do what you can do. I'm doing everything I can do. Our 50 state chapter group leaders are doing what they can do. Hundreds, maybe even thousands of people on this group on a daily basis are doing what they can do. What are you doing? So, all right, so I will be back tomorrow night. Keep checking back both on our Facebook group. Keep checking back on the petition. We're doing daily updates. We're asking people to do very easy things every day. Get into that habit. And let's get these loans gone, shall we? Let us win this battle together, lest we all hang separately. Think about that. I will be here tomorrow night. Ed will be here on Tuesday. And let's rock this puppy out. Rock this petition. Good luck, Godspeed, and God bless.